And happy Friday. Happy last Friday of 2023. It's the last this is the last success call we're gonna have this year, but I promise you it's not the last one ever. We're gonna be going through all of the cool stuff that we got to do this year, all of the new stuff that we're adding into the beta, and what you can look forward to this year. So super excited. Thank you guys for joining us live. We're going to give it just about 30 more seconds so that anybody who is wanting to join live is able to. They're able to join the Zoom call. And if not, we want to make sure that they're at least able to join or watch from their computer on Facebook. So, Sagrika, you still said you can still see my screen, right? The year in review 2024.
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. So, I'm going to be diving in to 2024, or sorry, Capri AI in 2023 to say everything we've done, and then 2024, you can look forward for what's coming next. So before I do that, I'm going to have Sagarika share a few of the resources in case you haven't been here in a while, or this is your first time here. We're going to just post a few of the resources in the Zoom chat. So that way, in case you don't have it yet, you can get access to it. And on my Facebook Live, on my main profile here, I am going to also add a few things. So I'm going to add first the help docs. So help.capriai.us. If you haven't yet gotten access to it, I just put it in, it's both in the chat and it should be as a comma or a comment in the Facebook Live. I'm also going to add the beta sign up so that if you have not had a chance to sign up for the Capri beta, you are able to do that there as well. I'm also going to put our support link. So this is our Capri customer support link. It leads to Nora's schedule, and she has been absolutely amazing this year, helping all of our users get all their questions answered. And then, of course, our YouTube channel. And this is where we post a lot of our updates and trainings and recordings of these calls and stuff like that. They all get uploaded to the BetterBots YouTube channel. So those are a few of the resources I want to make sure I put out in the very beginning so I don't forget. And we have one more link that's going to be posted later on after we announce it. But for right now, those are all of the available resources that we have. So diving on in here, it looks like I've got a few people here. So we're going to go ahead and actually jump into it. So let's look at Capri AI in 2023, everything that we were able to accomplish, and then what we look to accomplish in 2024. So the first thing that we did at the very beginning of this year was we built an integration with Google's Dialogflow. And so if you don't know what Dialogflow is, it's just the precursor to what we now know as the more advanced large language models. And it was made for detecting intents, and it's always been the most successful tool that we've been able to find up until, of course, Chat GPT came around and we were able to actually plug into it. So in January of this year, we just found out about Chat GPT. It didn't have an API available. And so we built a tool that made it easier for people to train Dialogflow agents. And then in February, we saw just how many people were asking about Chat GPT and GPT-3. So we added in the ability for GPT-3 to actually be the one to generate the follow-ups for your client. So have Dialogflow be the responder where it's able to respond to everybody. And then when they go stale, basically when you have the stale lead, that's when GPT-3 was able to generate a follow-up. And that was our first interaction with GPT and just generative models in general. And then in March, OpenAI announced their Chat GPT API. And so we added it in as soon as we were physically able to and made it so that now you could use that provider as the AI provider rather than relying on Dialogflow. With ChatGPT, now you can actually build a more contextually aware and intelligent bot, because the big difference here between Dialogflow and ChatGPT is really just the amount of information it has available to it when it tries to predict what it's predicting. So Dialogflow is made for predicting the intent of, like, when somebody says, where are you guys located? What are your hours? What's your website? These are classifications that need to be made. And then there's like a map basically that says, okay, if they ask this question, then we're going to give this answer. If they ask this question, we're going to give this answer. And of course, ChatGPT makes it so that all you do is pass in the full conversation. So instead of saying these are all the potential questions and answers that you might need to know about, instead, we can give it a prompt and we can give it all the information that we need to in the prompt. And then from there, because it's just a much larger intelligent model, it's able to keep up with the conversation and answer questions accordingly. But of course, we needed it to have a little bit more information. We can only fit so much info into the prompt before we start to experience issues with, the prompt limit being too long. We're trying to make it remember too much on the prompt. So that's where we added the knowledge extension. So that was around April. We came out with the knowledge extension for Google Sheets. And this made it so that if you wanted to connect more information, which most people, I would say 90% of the people that used it, did need to have some kind of external data source, because writing the same prompt over and over again just becomes very repetitive and it becomes a lot of work. So having one base prompt that gives the overall context of the business and then having a spreadsheet that has all of the individual questions and answers turned out to be a really popular way that people trained their AI without having to do too much work. And then around the same time, we also announced the emulator, which gave you the ability to train your model by interacting with it, having a conversation with it, and then changing the answer of what it said and then saving it as a memory. So along the same lines of giving, this memory extension ability with spreadsheets, we also made the same capability with training in the emulator. And we made it so that you could also do fully automated booking. So it can connect to ChatGPT. It can connect to a Google Sheet. And then now we made it so that it can connect to a calendar and actually read and post appointments to a calendar. So this was really the last step for us to be able to have the full range of capabilities that we were looking for with ChatGPT, because just out of the box, it couldn't do any of this on its own. So we had to come up with a way to make it so that it could add these functionalities for you guys. And then in June, the last major feature for the legacy version was adding the emulator to the iframe. So that's why we posted the YouTube channel. If you guys have not seen that video yet, I would definitely recommend going and checking it out. But basically, it made it so that you could actually not only do the training and setup and everything yourself, but once the prompt is set and the key is set, you could actually give your sub account users, so your SaaS users, access to the emulator themselves and give them the ability to train the bot and have it learn according to their preferences. And we did this for our enterprise customers only because we knew that once you get above a certain number of clients, it does become a little bit of a challenge to actually maintain the training for everybody. And so with this feature, we made it so that you could actually have your clients test new prompts and training and everything themselves, and then give you guys feedback directly from there rather than you having to have your team do it all yourself. So these are the major feature releases, and there's a couple in here I didn't include, but these are the ones that really seem to resonate with the most amount of users. And so these are the ones that I felt were the most notable to mention. Now, this all seems cool as just feature lists and, things that it can do and all that stuff. But what really matters is the impact that it had, right? So what exactly did it do for our users? So the impact that we had was we had the ability to serve over 500 agencies this year alone. Over 500,000 appointments have been set, and over $1.5 million new dollars in revenue have been generated for our users. So this is just with what we've been able to accomplish with the original legacy version. This is us getting the MVP out there, getting it to you guys as quickly as we could. We were able to have this kind of impact using this tool because it is such an issue for so many agencies. So I'm really proud of these numbers, and I'm really excited that we were able to do that just in 1 year, really less than a year. But this, in comparison from a year from now, is going to look like nothing. We are going to be doing so much more in 2024, and that's what I cannot wait to share with you guys today, and also just show you as we launch. So what's next? That's everything we've done this year so far, the 2023 accomplishments, and it's definitely been quite a ride. But in comparison to what we're going to do in 2024, it's not even going to compare. So currently, we have what we're calling Capri GPT. Some of you might have heard of it as the beta. It is currently in beta. It's in open beta, so anybody can sign up for it. And that's what the link is that Sagarika should have shared in the chat. It is the new website, and it is if you click on sign up, it should direct you to the beta sign up page. And in this, you'll see that we have totally new UI, totally new tabs. Everything is completely rebuilt. And we did that on purpose because we wanted to make sure that we didn't stick with what we originally built just because. We wanted to make sure that the new framework that we gave you guys is much more scalable. It's able to, have team management and billing management and all the stuff that we didn't have in the original version. So, the Capri GPT is in open beta right now. If you already are a legacy user and you already have an account and a billing subscription and everything with the current version of Capri, everything should map over automatically. It's the same product, so the same subscription will be applied to both. And if you have any trouble with that at all, our team already fully knows that is how it works. They will map your subscription data over into the new organization, no problem at all. But just to get a look at what is different here, one of the major differences is the ability to train your actions into an AI. So with the original version, with the legacy version, you can only train messages. So you can only basically change what the bot says as part of its conversational turn. But with Capri GPT, we made it so that not only can you train the conversation by hitting this edit button, you can still change what it said, but you can also add a new action. So that means if you say it should have added a tag in Go High Level, if it should have read a Google Sheet, if it should have read a calendar, if it should have read the data from a website, all of these actions can now be trained in the emulator and saved as memories, just like we did with the original version. But the difference here is that you can train it on when it should read the calendar based off of what the conversation says so far. You can train it on when to add a tag, just like you could with the legacy version, but now you can actually give it corrections. And we did that mostly because the actions being available in the legacy version were obviously very popular, but the biggest feedback we got was that people needed more granular control. People needed the ability to fine tune when an action should happen and when it should not happen. And so that's why we built the emulator out to not only include the messages that can be changed and trained on, but also what actions can happen and when they should and shouldn't happen, and what data should go into it. So how far out in the future it should book, how far out in the future it should look for the calendar availability, all of that stuff we trained in so that you can give all of that data to the bot yourself and really train it up to be as accurate as you want. And in addition to having this ability for yourself, we are going to also make this available as an iframe in January of next year. So before the end of next month, ideally before the end of next week, but we're just giving us a little bit more time, we will have the capability for you to put this view in an iframe for your users. So that way they can also train everything that you can train. So they can train the messages back and forth, but they can also train, when it should read the calendar, when it should add a tag, when it should book an appointment, all that stuff. And we're only going to allow for CRM actions for right now. So that way, you don't have to worry about them getting access to a spreadsheet you don't want them to have access to. They're only going to have access to actions that can take place in the emulator or in the CRM at first. But of course, we're going to continue to expand it. So that's one of the very, very first things that you can expect as a new release in January of next year. But it's already possible to do all of this training and everything right now in Capri GPT in the beta. So definitely recommend trying that out and just getting a feel for it and giving us any feedback that you can. Plus, one of the other biggest pieces of feedback that we got from users was that they wanted to be able to train multiple agents for a particular CRM account. So you want to have one agent for, let's say, if you're in real estate, you want to have one agent that deals with buyer leads and one that deals with seller leads. Or if you're in any other space, you want to have one agent that deals with potential customers and then one that deals with potential employees to have a recruiting offer, which has been extremely popular this year for having the ability to actually recruit new employees for your clients that you're servicing as well. So whatever your requirements are, having the ability to have multiple agents segmented like this makes it so that you can have one single account that has multiple agents attached to it, and they can all have their own different responsibilities, and their own separate training and actions and everything. So I'm super excited about that. And I think if you try it out, you'll see just how useful it really is. And in addition to that, we've got the ability for you to connect unlimited external data sources and channels. So currently, natively, we support High Level as a channel, and we also support Google Sheets, Go High Level Calendar, and Google Docs. We will have Calendly ready very early in January of 24, and we will have Chat HQ done hopefully also in the same time frame. So in January of 24, we'll be able to get a native integration with Chat HQ. But one thing I didn't get to put in here, I just didn't get enough time, is we do have a public API for Capri GPT as well. So if you do have a third-party integration or third-party app that you would like to connect to Capri GPT, you can use our public API endpoint, which is documented on the Google Doc or on the help docs, I should say, and it's on our YouTube channel. I put a full tutorial on how to set it up and use it with a no-code tool like Make. So if you do need to get into other channels, we do have a public API, and all of the training that you apply to your agent, all of the sessions that you save, everything will get applied if you use that agent as part of your public API. So yeah, definitely check that out. And I will have Sagarika, if you can just go to our YouTube channel and just find that YouTube video that is a release, and post it in the chat. I will also post it in the Facebook chat so that people can get access to it. Although I just lost my place, so I will have to do it later. But the public API is a pretty big feature that we did not have access to in the legacy, and so I'm really excited that we can give it to everybody now with the GPT version. So, yeah, and coming soon. So that's everything that we have available now with GPT. And coming soon, I'm really excited to announce some of the newer features that we are going to have available as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is before the end of Q1 in 2024, we are also going to have multiple AI providers. So the first one we're going to be able to get access to is Gemini. We've actually already gotten access. We just got to be able to build out a rebilling system so that you guys can pay for your own usage and not have to worry about that. So Gemini is coming very, very soon. And then Mistral 8.7b, this is one of the leading open source models. And a lot of the people that we work with, actually, surprisingly, whether you believe it or not, do have security concerns and just overall privacy concerns about using OpenAI as their AI provider. So since Mistral is an open source model, what we're going to be able to do is allow you to set up your own closed source, self-contained instance of this model and be able to plug it in to do all of the conversational tasks that you need to do, like setting appointments and customer support and all that kind of stuff. And because it's open source, you're not paying for usage. So you're actually paying just to host the model. And so this is really going to benefit larger users. So people who have probably more than 50 or 60 accounts. Going to an open source model like this can actually save you quite a bit on the AI usage because you're just paying for the container itself, which doesn't mean a lot to you if you're not a developer, but it makes it so that you can just pay for how much space you need on the server versus how many times you call the server. So that's kind of the big difference that we're seeing right now with just how people are allowing you to have access to a model. Closed source models like Gemini and OpenAI and some of these other large API providers, they want you to just pay for the usage, and then they host the API and the model, and they do all that stuff. So you just pay for how much you interact with the model, versus people like Mistral, Llama 2, all of these open source models. Their goal is to partner with people like Hugging Face and GCP and some of these hosting providers, and basically you will pay for the infrastructure whether you use it or not, right? And if you're a high volume user, of course, you're going to be using it, but the goal here is to make it so that you don't have to pay for every single interaction. You can just pay a more fixed monthly cost and know that as much interaction as you want to have, it's not going to cause your bill to go up. So that's the big motivation, is because a lot of the users that have stuck with us the longest have actually been super large agencies above 100 accounts usually. And That's the feedback we've been getting from them is like, hey, how can I make my cost for the AI go down at scale? Because as I keep adding more users, I'm just adding more and more monthly cost. And I don't want to have to deal with getting my users to get their own OpenAI key, worry about the billing rates on their side, the payment method, like all that stuff is just another headache. And if you're a large agency, you're all about efficiency. And so having an open source model that you control and you have access to and you just pay a consistent monthly price for, that's what we're shooting for. So that's going to be coming end of Q1 2024. And then in Q2 of 2024, we're going to have rebilling available. So you're actually going to be able to give us your Stripe API key and tell us which customer to associate with what agent. And then you'll set up like the unit. So basically how often we should bill them. And then we will do everything on our side. We'll automatically bill them according to the usage and all of that. So we'll keep track of everything on our side. We'll automatically set the billing. We'll let you start and stop billing cycles, all that stuff. So that's coming in Q2 of 2024. I'm really, really excited about that because not only can we save you some money on your AI usage, but now we can actually also make you more money by allowing you to rebill your customers. So can't wait to get that out to you guys. And again, that should be coming in Q2 of 2024. Plus, we are also going to be adding some free resources for you guys. So every Tuesday and Thursday, starting on the 2nd, so starting next Tuesday, we are going to have onboarding and office hours. So basically, if you have questions about basic onboarding, how to set up your bot, how to do anything with getting it to work, or if you just have general questions about how the system works, any challenges you're facing, anything like that, we are, in addition to having the free customer support calls, which we have right now, which anybody can book for, we're also going to have free dedicated support calls at 12 Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Sagarika, if you could just put that link in the Zoom chat as well. You guys should be able to use the Google Calendar link that Sagarika is going to post here, and we're going to post it in the Facebook group. We're going to post it in the help docs. We're going to post it everywhere as well. But it's just going to be dedicated time every Tuesday and Thursday that will allow us to answer your questions, give you more hands-on support, and just be there and be more available for you guys. So I'm excited to start that on Tuesday, and I hope to see a lot of you guys there. We're going to be, of course, mostly focusing on the GPT, the Capri GPT version, because it is the one we're going to be pushing out. But if you have questions about the legacy system, we can still absolutely help you out. We just won't make it the focus of the entire call. And only for the month of January, so only for people who take advantage of this during the month of January, starting on Monday, when you sign up for the yearly plan, so not only are you going to save money because you're signing up for the yearly plan, you're going to save on the enterprise plan, it's like 20% you save. Anybody who signs up for it in January, our team will build an agent for you. So totally free, no extra cost. We will build an agent for you in Capri GPT. It'll include a one-to-one consultation call where we'll get face-to-face with you, let you know, all of the best design practices. We'll get a feel for your actual use case and what you need help with. And then we will also do all of the prompt writing and the agent training for you. So we will write the prompt, we will add the actions and do everything that you need the bot to do. And then we'll train it on our side and modify the prompt and let you know when you're good to test and give any feedback that you have. And you'll get 60 days of premium support. So that means beyond the free support resources that we have, you'll also get dedicated access to our head of support. And we will also work in your CRM as well as in your agent to provide just way more in-depth support on the system as a whole. So this is only running for the month of January. I wish we could do it all year long, but unfortunately, we've only got so many people on our team, and we are going to have a lot of people ask for this. We've already had a couple of people sign up for it so far. Even though we haven't started it in January, they said, if I sign up now, can I still get it? So we knew it was going to be coming, so we went ahead and gave it to them. But yeah, all month of January, if you sign up for any of the yearly plans at any tier, you get this offer dedicated to you. So definitely don't hesitate. Don't wait. It's never been a better reason to sign up. And most importantly, we want to thank you guys. I just want to give an opportunity to thank you. This has actually been our best year ever with Capri. We've been running Capri since 2020, 2021, I guess. And this has been the most impactful year we've ever had. We had over 500 agencies sign up just this year alone. It's 1,000% more than last year. We've had the opportunity to work really closely with a lot of people and really create a difference in their business. And that's what really motivates us. It has nothing to do with the money, has nothing to do with the fame or the accolades or anything like that. It's all about how much we can actually make a difference for you guys and make your life easier. Because I know what it's like to be in that position of being an agency owner, telling your clients that, like, hey, we are generating leads for you. We're giving you guys opportunities. You are not following up. You are not scheduling the appointments and having them tell me that they couldn't do it. There's not enough time in the day, blah, blah, blah. I know how frustrating that is. I know how difficult that is. And that was the entire motivation behind building this tool in the first place. So I'm really proud to be able to have helped over 500 agencies this year alone, and generate over $1 million in revenue for everybody. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to do that. And really, we can't wait to serve you in 2024. I used AI to generate this image. I felt like it was appropriate, but with all the features that we have coming out, plus all of the the new people we're going to hire and the new offers we're going to be running this year, it's never felt like a better time to be in this space and to have the opportunity to work in AI. So I can't wait for this year. It's going to be honestly probably one of our best years. And again, just thank you guys so much for showing up, giving us the feedback, trying it out, and working with us while we build this awesome tool. So that's everything for us. If you are interested in the yearly plan, just just message our team either through Facebook, or you can email me at quentin@capriai.us. You can email me directly. You can also email info@capriai.us, and we can get you set up on the new version, like we said, and also just lead any kind of any resources that are needed. So that is it for today. And that's a wrap on 2023. I can't believe this year's already over. It feels like it just started. But no doubt next year will be even better. And I can't wait to see what comes out of it. So for all of you watching on live, as well as all the people who are actually here, Happy New Year, late Merry Christmas. And if you have any questions at all, please make sure to send them in. Otherwise, I'll see you all next week on Tuesday, 12 o'clock Eastern. That'll be the first one. Thanks again, guys. Happy New Year, guys. Thanks so much.